every time there's a new update on the horizon, I always get slightly concerned that hundreds of gigabytes of footage is going to become out of date as soon as the new update is released. So to try and combat that, I am going to cram a whole bunch of runs into this one video. And from the title, you can tell that the theme is chicken, and we've skipped straight to turn 14 here, where there are no chickens in sight. In fact, it was alpaca leveled up the chicken, and I maybe did 5 or 6 buy sells, and then that was really enough to get the T-Rexes going. And this was actually recorded prior to me getting the 5 T-Rex run in Pack 2. And I was on the fence of whether or not to actually post it at all because of it's 4 T-Rex plus 1, as you'll see in a minute. But because it's a scaling pet, you don't really need to keep the chicken. You can just get rid of it once the T-Rexes are big enough, and then I'll let the T-Rex scaling do the rest of the work. And on 9 wins, turn 15, I almost make the fatal error here and buy the salad, but thankfully I didn't, because it's slightly less economical than the buffs that you get from 4 T-Rexes. And I kind of felt a little bit bad going against this Toad team, because they were obviously trying to do something actually slightly different to what you would normally see in custom packs, but I guess they didn't actually play against me, so I can't feel too bad. So that was 4 of a kind plus 1, and really, that to me that doesn't count. I would rather have 4 or 5 of a kind with only one type of pet. And I'm actually cheating here because this is not a chicken game. This was Clownfish, and then just investing everything into a husky and trying to find as many huskies as possible. And on 9 wins here, you can see I am rolling down, can't find anything, and then I have to sell the Clownfish to throw this round in the hope of finding more huskies next turn. So I think I'll just let this game play out, since it's not actually a chicken game, and talk about chicken in general, because the update that is looming, whether or not any of the patch notes that have been released are final, I don't know, but chicken has been moved to tier 6 and with a very small stat boost. Now, honestly, I don't know, it's maybe a catch-22 situation that there's no actual good solution with what to do with chicken, because I think everyone agrees that chicken's not really that good in base pack 2, for arena at least, but it's a bit of a problem in versus. And obviously in custom packs, there are so many things you can do to enable the chicken with blobfish and alpaca, and having chocolate and crow, and all the different ways to level the chicken up, and all the buy-sell pets like buffalo and dog and dragon and so on and so on. So they had to do something about buy-sell as a whole, but I also feel like taking away chicken is going to make a whole lot of builds essentially impossible. But I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not that's a bad thing, because the reason I didn't post these runs previously was I must have spent about 2 weeks just constantly going for these kind of same plays, get the level 2 chicken, get the shop really high, and then with a few lives left, with a couple of wins left, try and pivot in the last remaining pets to get a full set. So 4 of a kind or 5 of a kind. Obviously, almost every game I was going for 5 of a kind, but it just got to the point where I knew I wasn't going to get 5 a lot of the time. So in this one, you can see I've actually got triple goat, and so buying and selling the tier 1s. I shouldn't have even done that there, because on 9 wins I'm trying to find more goats, and buying and selling the tier 1 does me no favours in terms of doing that. But thankfully on the the final roll here, I actually get the 4th goat. And there are even more failed runs that get to this point, and then I just can't find enough of the same pet. In fact, I posted the hyena one a while back individually. But having done that, I felt like a lot of these runs weren't worth posting separately, because you're just watching 5-6 minutes of solid buy-sell, which is not particularly exciting. The exciting part is getting to the end and wondering, are you going to be able to find enough of the same pet? So yeah, it was becoming a bit formulaic, and a lot of other channels were doing it, which is fair enough, because it's from a player's perspective, it's quite fun, and you're trying to optimize as best you can. And there was also a rash of videos where people were going for the earliest 50-50 shop, and I was actually kind of blown away by how quickly some people were able to get it. I'm just not willing to put the time in on that one. And so here, I having tried and failed with many other things, I tried for Komodo. I wanted to just see what it would look like with 5 Komodos, because I think the bug still exists where the Komodo causes pets to kind of get smushed together on one tile. But actually, I couldn't find enough Komodos. So here I was on turn 17, and I had a hamster, and I was trying my best to optimize how many rolls I could get per turn, and I still could only get 3. And here I was not sure the best way to arrange things, knowing that the Komodos were going to shuffle each other. So in the end, I just went with guaranteed melon on the left. I'm not sure if that's better or not. But you can see here we go against a summon team, and they're always deceptive. It always seems like your massive units are going to win the day, but unfortunately they get a hedgehog from the orca, which results in the melon breaking on the back Komodo. In fact, I don't think it would actually make any difference, because the shark would reach 50-50 and I would be 1 attack short. I guess I didn't do enough buy-selling in that one. So finally, let's just take a look at this run where it's turn 15, I'm on 9 wins, so it's a familiar picture, and I'm struggling to find the remaining scorpions to fill up this team. And I roll down, and there is a scorpion. But unfortunately, it's awkward gold, and I don't really realize that I buy the tamarin too quickly here, and then roll. And now I'm realizing that if I roll and sell the tamarin to make the 50-50 scorpion, the hamster has to go too. So now it's a 4 squad, and I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not this is going to win, but I would rather see a 5 of a kind than a 4 of a kind. And thankfully what happens here is that we draw and get a second bite of the cherry. And actually this is a big mistake as well. I shouldn't buy that tamarin either, because now that's 3 rolls to find a scorpion. I'm even thinking about buying another one. I'm just, what am I doing? And I just roll, and finally I get the scorpion. But unfortunately the tamarin can't be used because I only have 2 gold left. But having spent the gold on the tamarin, I am insisting on getting my 50-50 scorpion. And for some reason, having got this far to turn 16 with 4 scorpions and 1 frozen in the shop, I was willing to sell that one, the smaller scorpion, for a split second. Thankfully, I came to my senses. But for some reason, I also froze this tamarin. I'm just obviously addicted to buying, selling tamarin. And it's just a hope that I lose situation. And thankfully, Leopard Tiger decimates my team, and I get another chance to go for the 5. I have no idea what the best order is here, so I just leave things as they are. Although I do make one final error where I buy the taco for no reason whatsoever. I should buy the broccoli instead, because the taco does nothing. As soon as the scorpion has 21 attack or higher, it will kill through melon. And one final check, and in we go to the last battle. And it looks pretty good. But there's some one-ups involved here, so every time I see that, I'm always worried about RNG destroying me. And we get through to the final face-off, and the Scorpion clutches out on 1 HP. So there we go, a selection of highs and lows playing Chicken and custom packs. What do you think about the possible forthcoming nerf to Chicken moving to tier 6? Would you leave it as is? Or do you think they're not even going far enough nerfing buy sell?